Today's video is sponsored by Policy Genius. Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. You remember the other day I was complaining about how dry it is? Not so much anymore. All right, it is first thing in the morning, and we had a bunch of rain last night. I mean a bunch of rain. And this morning, it looks like it's about over with, but we're going to start things off here. This is your yearly reminder what I'm doing here right now. I need to replace a few fire brick. I got the stovepipe all cleaned up, but these 3 brick right here in the center, these ones take a lot of heat. This Regency stove gets its air from right here in the front, and I need to replace these 3 brick right here. Take about 2 minutes. All right, got the fire brick replaced. This one over here is worse than I thought. I need to get another one. I may even have one, but I got those 3 done. But like I said, this is the time of year to make sure your stove is in working order. So it's, what is it? It is the first week of August right now, and it seems like we're in the middle of summer, but we could have the first frost in about 2 months. And by the way, people always ask, our wood stove is a Regency Pro Series. It is the F5200, the big one. And surprisingly, it heats this entire building. I never thought it would, but almost 3,000 square feet is heated with this wood stove. Nice and toasty. I think I mentioned the other day, what's nice about Pennsylvania where we live, as soon as you get tired of a season, it changes. And I usually start complaining a little bit before that happens. So in other words, it's beginning of August right now. I would say by next week, I'll be ready for fall. Fall is just a great time of year around here. It's just by far my favorite. It is. What comes after that, not so much. I don't mind winter. I kind of enjoy winter if you get some snow. I don't like the gray and brown for 6 months, but I'm telling you, fall in Western Pennsylvania is hard to beat. All right, so I'm down here at the wood yard now. First thing on the agenda, I need to take the log splitter off the excavator. I cut up a bunch more of that red oak. Levi's been splitting it, and we're ready to cut some more. I'll probably get into that tomorrow sometime, but I would say we have about another 8 or 9 cords of red oak that needs cut and split. And that won't be for this year. It'll be for the following year. All right, I cut just a little bit of firewood there, but I brought some poles down here for tomorrow. All red oak. We'll cut this up tomorrow. I'm guessing I probably got more than 9 or 10 cords of this left. Probably more like 12. We'll just have to see. But I just love red oak. I do. I know a lot of people don't like it because it takes so long to dry. But once it's dry, it is beautiful, beautiful firewood. And I like red oak as a lumber as well. It's kind of an amazing tree, really. As dense and heavy and hard as it is, it really doesn't take that long to grow. You know, white oak is a slow-growing oak. Red oak actually grows pretty fast, but it's a very durable, hard, and pretty wood. Now that whole bay of the woodshed down there, that whole end is all red oak. These two are filled with a mix of maple, cherry, and red oak, soft maple. But I wanted to get these down here, get ready for tomorrow, and I also grabbed one 8-footer. The guy's coming later on this afternoon to pick up a little bit of lumber. I'm not sure what he's doing with it. He wanted just 50 board feet of green 4/4 red oak, and he was a little specific on the widths. He wanted like 4.5 to 7 ballpark. So I think I got the right log for that. I don't know, this one's going to be close. This is an 8-footer. Well, it's 8 feet 6 inches long, 14 inches in diameter. Now, according to the Doyle Log Scale, we should get right at 50 board feet of lumber out of this. I'm pretty sure we will. Maybe a little bit more, but like I said, according to the scale, you should get 50 board feet of lumber out of this log. Now remember, it's a hardwood, so we need to cut out the pith in the center. We'll end up with like a 4x4 in the middle, but we'll fire up the mill here, see what we get. But before we do that, I want to talk for a minute about an important subject and today's sponsor. I mentioned earlier that today's video is sponsored by Policy Genius, and I was thinking this morning, I said, you know what? I have insurance on everything. I do. All the equipment, the buildings, the vehicles, everything's insured. We have health insurance and we have life insurance. And for some reason, I think life insurance is something that gets overlooked sometimes. Maybe because it's not required, but in my opinion, it is most important. We plan everything, at least I do, and a good financial plan includes a good life insurance policy, and you can find that through Policy Genius. Now, in my opinion, to determine if you need life insurance or not, it's a very easy test to take. You just ask yourself, do I have anyone at all that relies on my income? And if the answer is yes, you definitely need life insurance. Policy Genius helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts is on hand to help talk you through it. You can talk to a team of award-winning agents who will walk you through the process step by step. You can easily compare your options by getting quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks and find the lowest price. Now, even if you have life insurance through your employer, it may not be enough to cover your family's needs, and worse yet, if you leave that company, that policy may not go with you. Now, with the level of service that Policy Genius offers, you can get the life insurance you need, and you can get it fast, and you can get on with life. Policy Genius has literally thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best policy that fit their needs. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams. Check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/outdoorswiththemorgans or click the link in the description to get multiple life insurance quotes for free and see how much you could save. First thing we want to do is center the pith. Right here's the center of the log. We're at about 7.5 inches on this end. We're on this end here. We're about 8 1/4. So we're going to bring that other end up a little bit. Now we're about 8 1/8. Actually, we need to rotate this log a little bit. I almost missed this. I've got this crack right here. It doesn't go all the way through, but I'm going to rotate this log a little bit so this is on top, and we'll take that off with the first slab. Otherwise, I would be getting into that just a little bit. All right, that's going to change things up. We are at 9.5 on this end now. Here's the center. All right, we are at 8 3/4. So I'm going to lower that other side just a bit and we'll be ready to go.
right, so out of that one 14-inch diameter red oak log, I got 8 pieces, 7 inches wide, 2 that are 10 inches wide. That is right at 50 board feet, give or take, real close. Now, this is what's interesting. I still have right here, these can be trimmed down or cut into stickers, but there's probably another 12 or 15 board feet right here on the mill. So the Doyle Log Scale says that log should produce 50 board feet. I probably got somewheres closer to 60 to 65. Now, why is that important? I don't know if it is, but this is something to think about. The Doyle Log Scale, it was invented way back in 1825 by Edward Doyle, okay? And back then they started using the Doyle Log Scale. Now, why does that matter? I think it's kind of interesting. Back then, you know, the old mills that they used to have had a saw kerf of probably, I don't know, at least 1/4 of an inch, right? So that scale was probably pretty accurate at that time. Now, with all the band mills like this, you net probably 10% over the Doyle Log Scale. So, doesn't really matter, I guess, unless, you know, you're taking logs to the mill and they use the Doyle Log Scale. I think some also use the Scribner or the International. But if they're using the Doyle Log Scale when you drop off logs, you know, that log right there, they're going to pay you for 50 board feet, where in reality, they're probably going to get 60 feet of lumber out of it. Just something to think about. And I think if everybody called them out on it, they would just pay less per board foot, so it's probably not going to matter. But I have noticed that before when running a band mill. I always get a little bit more, usually about 10% more than what the Doyle Log Scale says I'll get. And that was just another example of it. I probably have right now over in the pile 4,000 feet, maybe even a little bit more, of logs ready to saw, all red oak. I got a bunch of walnut, and I'm going to look at some cherry here in the next day or two. So we'll get stocked up for winter, which is coming quick. It is. I talked about that at the beginning of this video, reminding you this is the perfect time to make sure your wood stove is in order and you're ready to go, your chimney's clean and all that stuff, because it'll be here before you know it. And I got a ton of stuff to do before that happens, but things are moving along. This week, things have been a little slower than normal. Melissa is still out at daughter and Hannah and Tyler's place. She's watching grandson Bo, so that's nice. She can go see him. And then Levi's wife Kate took Ty and Thea out yesterday, so they're all out there. So Levi and I are holding down the fort here. Eva is moving all her stuff into college, getting ready to go back there. And so Levi and I kind of tag team with Hunter. He's up there with them right now. Probably going to run him out to lunch here in a little bit, and I'm down here at the wood yard. And then I'll go up and watch Hunter for a little bit, hang out with him, and Levi will come down and split some wood. So that's what we've been doing this week. But like I always say, if you look back at the end of each week or the end of each month or year, it makes you feel good because you realize you get a lot of things accomplished, even though it may not have seemed like it at the time. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. And I will catch you on the next one.